Hello everyone, it's Hambbage, and we're ready for another Hardcore Vanilla Minecraft. It's another gray, cool, rainy day here in IRL land, and to hopefully see some brighter skies, let's dive into our world. We won't bother with the clones. We're getting the real thing here. That's right. So, load up the. Oh, not that. We want to load up the slow cooker world. We're doing so well. We don't want to start over, right? Never. Uh, Glad to have you back with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If this is your first time with us, welcome. This here's Guava. He's our parrot, and Guava is one of the founding members of our Guava Jelly Gang, where we all rep the colors of a pinkish red, orangey colored jelly and a wonderful fruit of the tropics. That would be guava, our trusty friend Salty, and our other friend outside who is S'mores. But it's a little. Are we full? No, we're not full on dark yet. Hey, S'mores, how you doing? Yep, got another episode here. Hope you got your A game today. Keep those creepers away. So, where are we? That's a good question. We did a lot of kind of experience grinding in a not particularly efficient way yesterday. IRL, the last 4 or so episodes, I think, were my session yesterday, and we need to do just a bit more. We want to get these 3 additional enchantments onto our boots. We actually have a couple more. We'll add Depth Strider and Unbreaking 3 as well, but these are the primary ones. If we can get these on, we'll maybe go do some mining quickly and try to use that to... man, lots of ahs and oohs. Just getting going here, guys. Got some coffee in, and we'll get it. It's gonna wake up. So yeah, we're gonna keep doing just a bit of grinding. Primarily, that's gonna be in the form of maybe one more harvest on our crops. Although I don't know how long it's gonna take them to get ready. Honestly, we had just kind of done that late in the last episode, and without distractions, we may be in trouble. So we may find that this is the right time to just hop in a boat first before we really go back. I mean, we can always leave our boots as is, right? Every mining we've done until now has been boot free. But what we don't have is any more wheat. So I think we're on hold until our crops come back. Before we do anything, though, let's do a lap here and just get them loaded up pretty well. Now, our potatoes and carrots, and that's one thing that's kind of worked out decently well, is that we have been a little staggered. So our 2 crops on either end are kind of getting harvested off cycle from one another. We just done the beets and wheat, and as you can see, they've got a lot more growing to do. But the potatoes and carrots, they'll need a little bit, and again, the longer we can give them to finish up should be good. For anyone who hasn't seen, we have quite a swarm of bees here. They help us get our crops going, so glad to have them. Now we got a lot of wheat seeds, at least, are along. Let's take down as many as we can. Kind of audible in here, new day, new outlook. Let's go somewhere, do something while we're waiting on our boots and our crops and everything else. Maybe we'll just kind of push past the field. That would keep them loading, but I've talked a few times about maybe having a road that approaches what will become our coastal fortress here in going out and kind of exploring either the links of our island, or if that does connect to the rest of the the eventual continent that has the jungle and all the rest of it. Okay, I think these are all our boot things. So let's just leave them in place. we'll keep tending to them. All right, Salty, we're going to go load up our bone meal machine, and then we'll be off. Yeah, we'll just, kind of do the last little bit of land exploration around home. We've pressed up over the ravine where we got our cows a number of episodes back, and have skirted past the dark oak forest on our boat adventures. Let's get another iron axe and let's top off our food. Just kind of prepare. I mean, one hidden thing that we could get. Well, a couple things I'll really be kind of looking for, I think, as we go. It would be great if we can find any of the remaining bee nests that we have, and those are the naturally occurring bees out in the wild. If we can harvest some of those with our Silk Touch axe, then we'll be well on our way to getting those complete. We need 3 total. So any that we see, you get lucky, and that's completely done. Another thing that we can be on the lookout for are pools of salmon in any rivers we encounter, and just kind of do the old sword chop method of fishing to get them out. I'm going to do it the right way this time. We talked about that recently. Eat the food, then top off the steaks. All right, so we got some apples, we've got some steak, we've got our food. I think this will be a pretty good way to get things going a little bit, maybe a little bit of adventure, and then press on. Now, what we want to kind of determine here is we'd already talked that maybe because we have so much demand for pumpkins and melons, I mean, we harvest everything, go back over there, and 1 or 2 of our 6 trading farmers consume all those. We can certainly farm XP more efficiently with additional fields. So we can push out this way, do a double expansion or whatever. This is the ravine that we'd bridged to get cows. And up through here, we really do push back quite a ways. So if we were to run an entry road out, we could maybe hug or swing through this little valley. Does that cut? Yeah, we could come up in here and then, out into the great beyond through there. That would maybe be something longer term that we could do, but I don't know how I'd excuse me, kind of gotten such a feel that we were detached. Obviously, we'd come up on, that's a little dangerous, the chicken got stuck. We'd come up on our home initially through the sand point, the desert that became our quarry. So naturally, but yeah, we're actually tied fully in, and all that drama when we were getting guava and s'mores back from the jungle, or s'mores when we get them out of the village nearby. I think all that we were actually attached here, so pretty cool. Got a little lava lake over here, and again, we're our quarry is just out there in the distance. That kind of misty hill line there, I think, is the piece that we left in place. This is interesting. A little fire and water sitting next to each other. I'm glad the forest isn't burning. Maybe remember the Hondo world. Maybe we come in and do a little proactive maintenance here, just to try to keep things from getting out of control. Just a couple trees, right? I don't want to get too far after these. But for one thing, we did use a lot of our wood already, and as I talked about, I kind of went back on my intentions that we talked about it in one of the many just rolling villagers, kind of boring fill time conversations. I talked about how we wanted to maybe just start using our diamond axe regardless. You know, it has mending. It has very good durability. We've completed our diamond axe. It has full efficiency, full unbreaking. So it's in very good shape long term. It's not going to be breaking down too quickly, anything like that. So with that in mind, we really don't have to carry as much when we go out on ventures. However, just having it and using it is going to hit into our experience, because that mending and repair will take. And right now, before we have any other farms or anything set up to really get after our experience, we want every little bit of that to get the enchanted books that we have loaded up. So, yeah, I can trade some iron tools for that for the time being. So hopefully that maybe just, we're doing a good turn. We're getting some good karma here. We're preventing a wildfire by just removing some of the possible fuel. Oh, man. Except for the piece that's just floating. Maybe that'll cause some of them to decay. It's another of the challenges with the dark oak forest. I always talk, kind of they're dangerous because they stay dark. There's more likelihood of mobs spawning in the midst, but also because their canopies kind of grow together and they get tough to clear out. You chop down an oak tree in the regular forest biome, that's usually going to clear an entire kind of tree, like this swamp, right? Swamp, not exactly forest, but yeah, trees may touch in the forest, but you clear one or a couple even, that's going to clear a pretty good area. Now, I don't think we have any of these flowers yet. We could use these to kind of round out our, I don't know the names of these. The orchids. Yeah, there you go. In the swamps, that makes sense. But we can use these to flesh out our flower garden. They're what I would consider one of the medium height flowers. So, if the dandelions and poppies and azure bluets are the low flowers, then man, we have so much lava just exposed and out here. Just here a forest isn't gonna, or a fire isn't going to spread too far, even if it catches. But why not? We used a lot of wood making our lodge where all our villagers live, so we'll give it a wide berth. Everything can break. We'll just kind of wander through here, just kind of doing an exploration, see what all we got. Let's take what sugar we have for paper. I mean, this is piecemeal compared to what we can harvest over by the lodge, but the return is pretty poor. We could, I guess, do lily pads, but again, not super XP laden, so not the top activity. I thought I saw some more of those little orchids over here. I'm really on a mission to find the flower, the one kind of flower. It's our cave. I heard a skelly. Hello? Hello? I mean, it'd be nicer to just get our boots. But if we come across a cave that's just open to the surface, that we just see, it's not just like a hole we've got to work around. Ooh, did you see that? I think that's one of our torches. I don't know what it's doing over there, but... Oh, no, it's a dandelion. Never mind. Now we've kind of looped around this dark forest from a couple of directions. We've taken our boat, it kind of borders on the icy, iceberg-filled ocean over to the east of our home. And we've sailed our way through it. Come on, wake up. Sure don't see any one of those blue flowers, though, do I? No, sir. Well, just kind of use what senses we have, sound and sight, in the game. We don't get the benefit of a lot of smells, but I hear a lot of things. I was kind of in reference to listening for mobs and looking for caves or something to maybe go exploring in. Again, it sounds like we've got some activity either below or around us, but until... Oh, here we go. Oh, maybe not. Oh, careful. That's not exactly what I'd hoped for in a easy to dive into cave. I don't know. Excited for something, though. It would be... Hi, cow. You ready to go down there with me? You can if you want. You don't have to. Just don't push me, okay? Don't push. Don't push. Now, can we... Alright, well, this will be a little fun. Now, remember, we've got more tools than we really could want, but we're much more beefy now than we had been. It's a good thing. Looks like we have some more high-level caves, so before we just open up access down below us here to what appears to be Enderman City, let's go see if we can get into whatever this cave is. Looks pretty possible. Now, what's in there? So, we were talking, we're beefy now. We feel good about that. We've got a good sword. Let's just recap real quick as we get going here. So we now have a fully enchanted... Oh, no! A bad place to talk about our stuff. But as you can see, we're a little more robust. I was thinking, like, this is probably dumb. I'm just opening my inventory, but what's the worst that can happen? It sounds quiet. But, well illustrated there that we have, with our enchantments, gotten a little more robust here. Still like the chance to look at what we have. So, we have Super Helmet. It's not got the protection level that we have. It has Fire Prot 3 instead of regular Protection 4. Otherwise, great stuff. Protection 4, Unbreaking 3, and Mending on the chest plate, and the pants just need Unbreaking, so they may take a little more damage. Our boots are the only thing that are left, and again, we're actually down here. Let's get in some scuffles to get the XP. Our bow has come a long way since we started the enchanting trading efforts, really. Before I go off, since we're in what appears to be a fairly significant cave system here. Ooh, cool. But yeah, the sharpness 5 is going to make us quicker at killing. Um, Likewise, the power 5 on the bow. Both are pretty robust at this point when it comes to dealing damage, which obviously that's the point. So we'll try to make full use there. This is a little sketchy. Like having that be the entryway with all that unexplored cave back there. But again, this is it's kind of us more in the fast lane. And again, I don't know how much we actually did with any real enchants. We'd gotten pretty well decked out, and then we went into the Nether, and through total fault of mine, we slipped into the lava, and it was it before we knew it. And again, that was our second world. We had a couple fits and starts after that, but really, didn't have too much more as we went along. I thought I'd seen the enchanted bow there, but I guess not. So unfortunately, we're still a little short of getting exactly what we need to put these enchantments on, but we'll, in the hopes that we don't replicate World 2 again, we're going to really, hopefully, have a more successful dip into the Nether very soon. Maybe in today's play session for me, probably not in this episode, but the ones to follow. We would very much like to get some kind of access both to blazes and nether wart. Blazes dropping blaze rods are important for two reasons. One is enchanting the blaze, or I'm sorry, not enchanting, the potion brewing. They produce, they're little fiery, floaty, ghost-like things that kind of float around and are a little annoying in that they have impossibly long range. I mean, not impossibly long in that we can shoot at anything we can see as far. We're not limited. Our bow doesn't have a a physics attribute which says the arrows can only fly so far or anything like that. It just you point and shoot, and if you account for drop a little bit, you can fire a very long way. So the blazes, each type of mob has a particular combat style or presents a particular threat to allow you to manage different things in the game itself. And with blazes, like skeletons, that's long-ranged projectile attacks, but they're on fire as well. So little, nether, tougher. They're a little more dangerous in that regard. But they also can fly. So blazes, yep, they're fun. They also usually are going to be found in nether fortresses, and the nether wart is only found in nether fortresses. So depending on a healthy dose of RNG, you have to get lucky or do quite a trek across the nether to try to get there. And I'm talking about some of this now to hopefully prevent having to talk so much when I'm first down there, so I can kind of focus and not die when we do get in. Kind of move things forward back to a point where I'm used to playing. And there's a lot of content I haven't that I normally enjoy playing that we haven't even come close to in this series. And I think, in part that's out of the awareness that there's a lot of challenge that comes in once you start. You're not just solely focused on playing the game, you're also making some content. That's, two things that you're trying to focus on at the same time, and it's a much different challenge. Before we go too much further, let's try to... Don't need that. Yeah, I'll keep that. Don't need that, though. Don't need that. Not bones. We got bone meal factory. Don't need that. Oh. Don't need that. Get all that wood. Yeah, we didn't really know why we were coming down here, which is probably never a good idea in terms of when planning a trip out in the world of Minecraft. Just, go without any purpose other than to try to randomly... Oh, if I pick all that stuff back up again, I'm going to be upset. There. Nope. The whole trading picks is very self-trolly for me. I would like to, I'd like nothing more than to be all Silk Touch picks. Once I am, it's kind of then back to, and with iron or whatever, as long as you've got uniform, it's very easy. You put a shovel or a axe in your other hand, and everything is picked. But when you're trying to, at this particular stage, when you're trying to preserve your one Silk Touch to get the high volume stuff and then break those with fortune later, that can be easy to not recall switching back and forth. It's just so easy to, oh yeah, I'm just going to take that block now, take that block. And again, it's not the end of the world if we do, you break a few pieces of stone with it's a diamond pick. It's not gonna just melt in your hand, but again, it's that waste not, want not kind of mentality, right? We've got these, let's use them until we're otherwise equipped. So yeah, there we go. Got a hole. I think we've got more back over this way. I think that's maybe where we looped around here. This is where we were checking our inventory. Man, we're still at level 9. Where's more stuff to fight? Is it nighttime? Because I'd actually like to kind of have a combat roll and see if we can find some slimes up here. Oh, woo! That was way back. Remember early in the game when I talked about how, oh yeah, if you're gonna access a hole mine, be warned, it's dangerous when you come back up again. And that's, why we made the slanted staircase that eventually sits right next to our... I don't know where that guy... Okay, crossing that way, hiding behind the cow. Oh, come on. Don't get all trolly now. Dumb cow. With a flame bow or fire aspect sword, you do cook what you kill, which is kind of nice. In a way, it kind of seems like at times it's more trouble than it's worth. I don't know if you get XP for it, as you would, cooking a stack of beef. So I certainly wouldn't ever use a fire tool when I'm harvesting my own animals. I don't see any slimes. That's really what I'd hope for. But yeah, as I said, I was talking about the blazes. That shows a little bit the range. You can just tee off on some of these things. What happened to our little... There it is. So yeah, let's, just for the sake of coming back up. It'll probably be daytime when we do, and we'll never come back here. But to avoid more creeper surprises as we climb the hill. Oh, another cow got hit. Well, we'll take that leather. I mean, that's a good thing to have. There's some vines. Alright, I think that's overkill enough. Oh, yeah, I hope we can get back out after that creeper blast. Okay, now we hadn't even gone deep under into the actual cave. Because we were coming back around this way. This all connects, but in our mantra of dealing with the stuff on top before we get to the stuff down below, let's some of this. Again, you know, aside from the combat, our level is going to sit pretty still while we're out here, but then we'll get back and we'll get to additionally cash in the XP that we're gaining, you know, at least transporting. You know, think of it kind of like a paper check or bank card from a bank. You're carrying around value in your pocket. It's just in a more easily transportable means. So, you know, we're just carrying an XP check after we've gathered all these up. That's pretty good. Yeah. Let's go down into the depths. Oh, maybe is there something more this way? Yep. How much? Check those holes in the ceiling, right? You know, for one thing, at night, opening up above your head into the open air is bad, right? You know, just like that creeper when we climbed up the stairs. If it's an upper cavern kind of situation, that can also have mobs dropping down. So look for like that. Obviously, we've had issues with these kind of things before, so let's drop everything we can. Then once we know what we're dealing with, we can kind of... This is the more churly part of the two different pix types. Okay, save, clean, no coal. Now we can work our way back again, looking for ore more carefully. Go up there, but we'll grab this first. I think that guy's above ground. Alright, back here. But yeah, just the speed and the carrying capacity both make it so nice to have that pick. How we doing here? As we back away, let's toss a few more things back into the corner of that room. Let's toss the dirt. Oh man, wasn't there gravel? Yeah, gravel. Okay, so we got two more potential stacks. Nothing really up there as I went. Okay, so we're getting to daytime, but the rain will keep... Oh, you were doing better better with the bounce, my friend. More coal if we need it. Ooh. Oh, what happened? Because my fire went out. Your fire seemed to linger. What? 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 Invisible block? Maybe a trouble afoot. Something was catching me right there. Again, kind of like the boats and things, though. If he went down, always up. Big old caves. So more potential reason to have a road. I think we're gonna. We got 9 more. Let's leave them and push back that other chamber a little bit. Oh, here. We'll just start grabbing some of the stuff that we passed because we're pretty full. We've done significantly well on our little unplanned adventure. We'll get some XP from cooking up whatever iron it is we have. We'll get a bit more out of, obviously, the fortune, the coal and, I guess coal. We get some gold, though. That's good XP when we cook it. So, a few things here. All right, one more torch. We'll just save it to, there'll be something random we'll want to light. One of these holes or something. Probably not this one as far back as it goes, but, or, as far into this cave as we want, but... Alright, so... just in thinking as we clean some of this kind of stuff out, hopefully we don't have a whole lot more chills and thrills in this cave. 2 creeper blasts were quite enough. One I saw coming, that one climbing outside in the middle of the night when we were going, checking to see if there were any slimes, was, that one was more unexpected. The one above ground... Wait, I think I said that wrong. So the one when I was checking my inventory to show off the armor enchants when we first got here, that one I knew as I was doing it, I was like, oh, that's a bad situation. So when I heard the sizzle, I was kind of ready to turn around. And again, the advantage being that nope, well, whatever, as long as we drop the bone, not the coal. Now, did I leave a bunch more? That's just cobble. Up here isn't. Oh, come on. Really? Nope. Yeah, try to just talk and juggle tools and break the right blocks. Tell you, it's more difficult than you may think. All right, we need to just keep one more set of stair there. We don't need that. Anything else that was stupid that we just picked up? I mean, we could drop the stone if we need to. Anything along those lines, but we'll keep pushing back here and just see. Oh, was that it? No, let's throw a light down here. Hi, little spider. Surprised you got me. Alright, well, good. Oh, here it is. Good. I thought we'd pass some more stuff on our way into this little area. I think there's some more still kind of in that steep stairway we came down. I think. We'll see. Surest way to make sure that there's nothing of value left. See, you think there is. Alright, well, did we actually have no stair? Okay, there was still some iron. May as well get that. Alright, now... Let's take a rainy walk back. I said, we're going to get some bright sunshine here to break up my RL gloomy kind of day. But it would seem that we're gonna just have more rain. since we're, again, a little more beefy than we had been. Oh, I hope my boots didn't get too much more banged up. But we have 10 levels with the cook and the fortune axing. We should get back a little closer to having the full boots. But you know, if we can just start with mending if we need to, and kind of repair them from there. They're not in any real danger of completely failing. Okay, that's not going to let us through though, but we're here. Hey, cow. And then we'll just kind of try to continue to get a feel for our little road potential valley thing. That's great descriptive use of the English language. The little valley through which we could potentially carve a road and then, you know, push down here once we get horses. Are there horses out here? This would be a cool place to team a horse. Oh. Yeah, so definitely going to be a little bit more of a turn here. Did this valley cut through? Again, like roads, you know, you don't go over the top of a mountain peak unless it's like a scenic road to the top of a mountain for tourists and stuff. You typically will try to go through the path of least resistance. Whether it was trains or cars or any horses or anything else, going over the top of steep hills is tougher than just cruising along on the flats of a valley, and cutting a shallow grade. So I think, something kind of through here, because that stays fairly steep. Oh, and then we're back, so we've already got it. So yeah, it would be kind of around this edge and then winding back through. I think that would be cool. This'll kind of be the approach view. How much? Oh, we're not too full. I know it's night, but we're close enough to home now. We can kind of work backwards, escape into the water if we have to. Of course, this is pretty stupid, really. I mean, what's the reason to be chopping trees in the middle of a rainy night when you're on your way back? Well, the reason is that we've got both small stacks of birch and oak, and this is something we just decided we wanted to do for our world. So we've hopefully, I don't want to cause undue trouble for myself by saying it, but we've hopefully reached the point where we can do a little more through the night and not have to just constantly hide in a bed. It's never the intent of Minecraft. In hardcore, you have to make allowances. You have to kind of be smart about things. But in some ways, it's no different than spending your nights, all working all night through the night in a cave. Just a little more opening. Ooh, we need that XP. Okay, good. I got the arrows. Don't necessarily care about the moons. He sounded loud. Yeah, this is another means of XP farming a little bit, as long as it doesn't get too out of control and we don't fall into one of those lakes and have a creeper land on us and then a swarm of zombies landing. Those things make them get out of control a little more quickly than we'd like, but if we can keep those in check, we can kind of go. Now, I don't know, is our road going to cut here? I think we can take, anything on this lowest level is still fair game for chopping. Watch for creeper feet through before you look upward. That's a big tree. We'll maybe leave it for the time being. For one thing, I can't see if it's a big tree, and I don't really want to spend ow, the time when monsters. Come on, don't. When monsters could be coming after me, just staring upwards into leaves to see, where's the branch that I missed, kind of deal, right? Alright, how we doing our wood now? We've almost filled the, there's one. Definitely get you out of the way, tree. Alright. So this will open things up. Again, we'll leave him, and I'm not, okay. Spidey. It's the trifecta. We got Spidey, Scaly, Creeper over there. There was a Creeper. Where'd he go? There we are. A couple Creepers. One Creeper down. Buddy back this way. The particle-iness of the rain definitely... Come on, man! More interested in the XP at this point, really, than anything else. And we'll maybe just hang here through the evening, fighting, and then... Oop. Hey, bee, you should go hang out in the hive while it's raining. Are these connected at all? I mean, what did I just say? What I really shouldn't be doing is spending a lot of time running around when mobs could be coming up on me, looking into the tops of trees. And then, what do? I look into the tops of trees. But I'd kind of like to clear out this little thicket. I don't mind leaving the big tree. We can even make our road wrap around it, whichever way we end up deciding to go with the road, but... some of this stuff get cleared. Okay, another bit of mob time. You'll probably, if you haven't already in your own play, you'll probably quickly come to realize that mobs kind of, they always, depending on the type of mob, will have the chance of pack swarming, where they come in groups. Oh, no rain is nice. So make the rest of the evening pretty slick. We got some more time. But yeah, there will be time. Once you're out in the night continuously, you'll start to find that there are times when you got your hands full. There's lots of stuff popping, and then you'll get these periods where there's really not much at all. Kind of don't want to risk. There's some XP. There's some XP. Can't get the spider. Go over and get this. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, it must be full on arrows. Ooh. right off the cliff. I don't know if he fell far enough. That might be a tough one to get any XP out of. The other nice thing is it's a lot easier to kind of try to work your skeleton creeper kills to get more of those albums when you're working out in the open at night than inside a cave. So that's a good thing. While we're just kind of waiting for night to go, and we'll keep fighting here. But I had mentioned kind of many episodes ago now, but it was at the beginning of yesterday's play session for me that there were. That's the lava fall we always see. There's our quarry. We were kind of experimenting a little bit with doing our content uploads into YouTube, whatever. But I'd had some just, interruptions and things that made the multiple video uploads not go as smoothly. And so yesterday I did just, I think I was running through the day, after having 3, I think, not load overnight. I had maybe a tunnel through there? I don't know. I would like to get over into that valley. Does this connect up? Now that it's daytime, it's kind of like, oh, what can we do? I don't know. Maybe a side road back and eventually like a short ferry or a bridge to the quarry area. Could make like a, high arch type bridge. Everybody's got to build bridges. Bridges were one of the first thing I really started trying to, quickly move from a flat span like the one we put over across the ravine over there to, something with some curve to it, some side railings, lamps along the side, support legs and things to make them more impressive. They're if you're just starting out and you're wondering, hey, what's something that I can build that, I can finish and play around with, and the pretty much no matter what you do, they won't look stupid. I'm big fan of bridges myself. I think I should have done that. I think you can't go wrong with a good bridge in Minecraft. So it's a free recommendation, I guess. Alright, so some of those. It's been so long since I've just done an inventory dump. Like, alright, where's everything? Nope, that's not a sapling. Over here, we can go with you. That's it. Here, you. We got a lot of beef now. I think we had just cooked that for the XP, right? And we're up to level 14, which is great. Let's go put the flowers real quick and do I think we probably did pretty well because we, approached behind the fields through the dark oak before we went for the nighttime little battle on the far side. So hopefully our fields have continued through all of that adventure. They're coming. These were the closer ones, and the beets are already looking pretty significant. These are kind of down to that finishing bit, right? They got some odds and ends. Still more than I'd like to see for a harvest, but it's getting close. Certainly our cash crops there are looking pretty good. Wheat still struggling a little bit, but I can tell it's improved a bit. So bees, you guys keep up the hard work. Alright, let's store our new orchids. Let's go back over here and store our... And we got room. Let's swap here. So, again, Fortune 3, Unbreaking, and Mending. We don't have any efficiency on this, but not a huge deal. And we'll just kind of demo. I mean, this is not my ideal way of doing it, but certainly, I've used it many times. Many people do, but if you got a full stack of ore that you brought back to be broken by a fortune, if space is short. We haven't fully worked on our basement yet. But until we, set up some storage and have a long run set up specifically to lay these out horizontally, that's a pretty good way. Just go straight up in the air for one thing. Get an awesome view down at our fields there. Across to the lodge. You can just see that in the distance. Not quite to the quarry or the village in that direction, but out over, So that's the kind of the question when we come through our fields. Do we go around and out to the gap there, or do we just push back? Our fields are gonna go back, so it'd either be a tight curve, but for any expansion, I kind of think we'll, kind of make a coast road, maybe build it up with some, again, I keep talking about mossy cobble, but it's pretty cool. Let's admire we're taller than the jungle trees. Okay, enough fooling around and fun. We'll throw that back into our offhand, and yeah, I mean the axe is good. All we're really doing that'll top off, and then we'll be on to racking up anvil experience. And as you'll, do we have mending on the? Yeah, we do. So this should also just kind of hover at a partial use. It won't. Usually, it won't just sit with no use whatsoever. It'll usually have a full green bar, but as it needs some, it'll take it. Each time our left side pick shakes there like that, dips in, that's when it's using experience to repair itself, and you can kind of watch its little green bar there down there on the toolbar at the left. That's the offhand slot, and it will slowly kind of work its way up. As you can see, our overall XP on the green bar below the number 14 isn't shooting up right now until our tools, and if we had armor damage or anything like that, all that would take as well. And that's why I didn't just use the pick while we were out chopping some of the axe while we were out chopping some trees. I wanted that to that experience to go towards the number 14, not towards a bunch of different tools that I'd just worn down. So eventually, when we're not doing all this enchanting, bye-bye chickens, we're too tall. Cows next. But yeah, eventually, when we're not just constantly trying to enchant stuff, it won't matter at all. Then, any gathered stuff goes right back into our tool repair, and we'll make experience farms of varying efficiency to try to knock those back too. So not very thought inspiring. And unfortunately, that one of the other, and it's all these, the efficiency once we put it on this fortune pick will speed this up a lot too. And again, just picking our battles until we have our boots done. Everything else is a little bit secondary. Once we do, though, then putting efficiency on this so that we don't have to waste as much time. Waste is a strong word. I mean, this is why we went, right? But efficiency even on the fortune pick will help speed things up. I'd rather have it on my silk touch, and that's why we put it on there, so that when you're, mining a bunch of coal or diamonds or anything in the caves, you're spending less time looking at that than watching out for mobs or exploring for more stuff. So I'd always rather have the speed when I'm out in danger than when I'm just sitting around here cleaning up. But I don't particularly enjoy spending a lot of time sitting here. And as you'll see, every coal's not quite there, but you can see most of these are giving us a couple different little coal pieces when they pop like that, and that's the fortune coming through. And we really look forward to that on diamonds. It won't happen on every one. Sometimes you'll just get a single, but multiplication is multiplication. Oh, look, guava's coming into view down there. Well, you can at least turn a little bit. Hey, buddy. Well, we got to 15. There's almost the pick. We're so close. It does definitely feel a little campy when you're trying to repair tools with this. Like, a tool will never just repair at a normal rate. For one thing, the last little bit seems to always take the longest. I'm fine with that. I get that. But it also seems to just be very coincidental to whatever amount of ore you brought back or are working on. I think that's much more just projection on the game mechanic than it is actual intent, but it feels that way sometimes. While we're going down this last stack, I'm just going to wet my whistle here. 1 second. All right. And just in time, let's sleep outside. Actually, should we not? Let's not sleep. Let's wait and get some phantoms just to do it, because I don't think we have it all in any of our worlds yet. Maybe in World 2 we did? We might have. Not enough, though. Okay, let's blockify some of the... Well, let's top off... Top off. Get a little bit of XP there. Not quite, but we'll still top off that. Furnace. Oh, that's already blocks. Okay, back inside. Hope nobody comes to pound on our door. Okay, blocks, right? What do we... Let's just at least top off the extra bit there, and then whatever's left over we'll take, and then the rest of this is blocks. Works for me. So now we can top off there. This was our iron. That gets us to 16. And we said we were using up a bit more of our iron than we would have liked, just, as we were moving along through tools and production. But I think we're back to pretty good there, too. Since we're just kind of waiting out the night and not sleeping, let's recoup some of our chest space here. And while I will, kind of keep options for a bit for some of our iron tools and, things to, do I really need an iron axe? Maybe not, but for the time being, maybe just keep one fresh one on hand. Yeah, that works for me. I mean, I don't know we really need to carry around 2 shovels either, but so be it. Now, I don't know what we're going to end up doing here. I think let's leave cobble in our... Oh, we need torches. Let's not forget that. While we're kind of in our refitting mode, since we are, let's just go ahead and make a bunch of torches. Thanks, Guava. I like the mob noises. You're really good at it. Okay, let's go see what we can get enchanted. Not much with 16, but hopefully a start. So start there. See how far we get. Again, this is gonna immediately kind of put a damper on our current enchanting. Still got 9. We got a chance. What? I mean, that should go next. Now, these are going to be the more expensive ones too, though. But we got it. All right, so that's already pretty good boots, right? They'll still take damage, but they'll heal much more quickly. So kind of an XP suck, but now, if we should have a gravel stack land on us and we fall off a ledge trying to get air, will be much better off. Feather Falling 4 is not immunity from fall damage, but it will lessen it. So you can still, straight up die with Feather Falling boots on if you fall from a high enough height, but you get a much, much, much bigger cushion before that happens. And more importantly, if you fall from what had been a fatal height, and it's for the player, I still think it's around 20-some blocks. And mobs vary a little bit, but right in that kind of range. So that all works. Now, anything else around here that we want to do in the evening? The only real drawback to our current tower setup is we risk damaging it if we kind of make ventures out in the night. And, that's maybe... Didn't we already have more? I mean, I know I've kind of conditioned myself to, yeah, it takes a lot of seeds to make stuff, but maybe we used all that to make the wildflowers to feed the bees. That's right. So, we're not sleeping, Salty. We've decided. Let's do this. And away. I kind of still need the fields, but maybe our sugar over here is ready. I just mainly wanted to get out and away from my construction there and not let it get creeper-fied. Again, I think by the end of the next night, that's not a bad idea. Let's go to the quarry. We can mob fight. We can potentially now take on a couple Endermen, take their eyes, and once we get the blaze rods, we can then start Ender chests and eyes of Ender to eventually, work towards the dragon fight. And again, I think in a fairly casual, a lightly say throwaway world, because that's never something I just want to do. By the time you've just gotten to the point of getting to the Nether and those kind of things, even the most lightweight of worlds become you kind of become attached to them. That's cool. But even even in ones where I haven't done it, put any emphasis into building, I'm just working on getting the dragon, getting shulkers, whatever. I've just decided to get all those tools and things in place before I did any building. Man, bees. That becomes a real factor. So maybe we'll, once we it's kind of weird having this pick in the offhand, honestly. But I don't need to move it really. Oh, there. Hey, bucko. Are you close enough? Come on. Oh, man, this is how I get creepered, right? Okay, here he comes. Come on. Yeah, 3 of them. That's the looting coming through. So we definitely like having that on our sword. And it becomes very easy to become dependent on the bow. I try not to. One, the looting is great. Oh, there's another one. Can we get you? Come on. We'll talk more about the pearls. We haven't a ton yet, but now they can be, clearly they're not hitting us as hard now that we have prot 4, and the fire prot that doesn't do anything to them, but three pieces with the full general protection. Even their hits don't do as much damage to us, but we got 4 pearls already. Now, one thing we have kind of mentioned, but not really. I don't know that I've ever used one in one of the worlds. I haven't had a whole lot of reason to, but pearls can be used for transportation. So we can just toss a pearl as hard as we can, and then we'll zap to wherever it is that pearl landed. So we kind of ended up in the little valley here between all our stuff. There's our quarry hill. Huh. I didn't know we really had a... Man, this is a death trap. All that stuff, let's go. Ooh-wee. Oh, and of course that's... So let's put one there, and then let's see what we can bring down. Again, this is where it's a little weird. What's going to drop and break, what isn't, why does one piece of sand fall and another doesn't? The world may never know. But the torches will break any that do fall through. So we can... Oh! We should have put the fortune pick away. We don't ever really want to use it, but I don't really want to use the silk touch on sandstone anyway. There's no benefit to it. What I wanted to do was get some of this sand broken, and then why not grab a little more coal, right? So that's really, we've now done all that we needed to do to fix our coal problem. Between silk touch and fortune, now we'll have those blocks of coal for days. And that's why I haven't done as much with like the lava bucket oven in my own playthroughs. If you kind of prioritize the tools and enchants before you get to the the cooking of building materials and stuff, that's a good way to keep things going. Or keep things going. That's a good way to just ensure that you never need fuel. You're always pretty well set in that regard. And having coal blocks, is a very good fuel, especially for the big loads of stuff like, full stacks of stone. I think with the coal blocks, you can churn those out. But maybe what we look at is instead of powering our current lava oven with lava, we just fill that hopper with coal blocks. It will always remain stocked, and we can just keep dumping it. Stone, sandstone, stone, whatever, sand for glass, whatever we need to cook. I hope at the moment we kind of are at a point when we don't need to do a lot of that. As I've alluded to, I'd still like to go find a particular set of biomes that have a particular style of stone that I think would be a great, accent addition to our little fortress here. And until we can, I say all that, we can continue to make progress. Obviously, I'm here digging sand, right? And all we're really doing is waiting for our crops to finish. So, but now any of these things can turn into additionally fighting monsters, all that. We've definitely changed a threshold, right? And that's part of what I talked about way back when I first started even the first world is, I watched, over the years, I watched a lot of different content creators, and so many that I kind of move away from are the ones that very quickly try to rush through the content, and then they're just, and I get it, right? In some regards, I'm just old, you just don't get it. You're old. Why don't you want to have fun? But they just end up trying to manufacture silly situations because they rushed through all the early game content just to get, just to be able to say, oh, I got netherite on my armor. Ooh, I'm so cool. Well, yeah, we'll get that. I hope we don't lose another world before we do. I'd like to get to the point where, for all of you guys, there's a payoff of, hey, look, we've gotten to all that content as well. But I don't want to make as much of this content unnecessary just because we rushed through. And then, it's like, well, it's the slippery slope, and rehash here, but as soon as you start going, well, that's unnecessary, why don't I, because it's unnecessary, why don't I just, code in, do this, the command line to generate, a few stacks of glass, then I don't have to deal with the sand. And all of a sudden, you're doing all those things, and you're effectively no longer playing the Minecraft that I play, that I think the game setup of hardcore is really intending to try to produce, and that's, to me, a bit of a shame. Again, I'm not up on a high horse or something saying that those people are playing the game wrong or cheating or anything like that. That's the beauty of an open sandbox type game like Minecraft. There's no official rule book that says this or this isn't. If it's got functionality, you can do it. If it's technically an exploit, you can, they'll modify it in the game. You won't be able to do it anymore. Now, that being said, it's technically possible to get above the roof of the Nether, and a lot of people do that. You can then do a lot more automation type stuff, and kind of gives you a back door to a lot more possibilities. But it's one of those that I know I'm not alone. I know a number of the people, and not by chance, a lot of the people that I enjoy watching they feel the same way. You know, for them, that ruins a part of what they enjoy about the game. You know, if you just do that, get into a part that's, you know, it's not built into the technical defined heights of the Nether. You know, yeah, you can using the piston thing get yourself popped up there, and then you can do all kinds of things with automation that, you know, are a lot more beneficial to the player, let's say politically, um, than what, you know, others may feel. So I think we've already got plenty of spider eye. These 2Bs, man, they one are really lost, and two, they're persistent. They've been out here forever. Let's get them if we can. It's a good little batch. We'll swim around here and gather these guys back up. I don't know what looting. I think maybe it's better chance for like bone meal. You can get bone meal out of the fish, which, you know, I guess represents just, you know, getting fish bones in when you're eating fish. I don't know particularly how that was going, but, you know, fish have cartilage. And particularly some species of fish are really known for being bony fish. Yeah, no, I'm coming after you, not your cod friend. See, there's some bone meal. We don't have. Well, I mean, it takes a lot of pieces of bone meal, as we know, to make up for 2 bones. So keep our stack of bones. All right, this was totally a diversion, but as I've said a couple times, it would be good to build up a little stock of. Wow, we spent the whole day over there just playing with sand. Building up a stock of raw salmon, so eventually we can start knocking out the cat varieties taming. It's a lot easier to do it all at once when you're going to keep track. Yeah, I've got the notepad and the list and all that we talked about, which, by the way, timing is good. I just was really scared about the slide for a moment. Like, I haven't checked at all today. Got to keep double checking, make sure we're good. So home's looking good. We'll go all the way in here. I was trying to kind of belatedly turn the boat. What do we got? Junk. Stone. All the sand is really in the way, but oh well, we can do these right in here. And then we'll try to remember to put away our. So now I don't expect much. Oh well, that was a lot of our combat. So yeah, that's why we didn't do much fighting mobs out in the desert. We were actually healing up our boots, so they're almost good. So that was a big win and benefit. So bunch more coal there. Let's make a run to our. Oh, let's put this away. We don't need it. Make a run to our outdoor box. Dump all this stuff as quick as we can, hopefully without incident, and then we'll head back to the desert and do some more night fighting. Oh, let's feed. Feed me, Seymour. Gone before they know we're here, right? No sizzle. No sizzle. Very good. Now it's a mess because there's just that little bit of sandstone. If that hadn't been in there, it would be a Well, maybe that got grabbed. I don't know if there were partial stacks or whatever. That might work itself out pretty well. We shall see. But yeah, let's see if we can take on a few more Endermen. Keep our boots healing, and then clearly we won't have to fool around in the quarry during the day. We may even get some phantoms tonight. I don't know if we have to get through the third night or if it's just in it. But again, desert because there's lots of visibility. Good place for a night of mob fighting. We'll just start with a sword until we either want to take down... Oh, man. Come on. You done? Not you. You get the chop. I don't know why I'm running. It's not like we need to be anywhere in particular. That was a headshot. Eventually, I kind of like to clear these out, and I think maybe I'd even talked about that for this area in particular. Was that one thing we could do in kind of our, we talked about like reclamation project after we're done stripping out the sand and sandstone and everything else, that we could potentially make a stadium kind of scene, because I think that really works out. Clearing the cacti, they kind of get confused at distance with the creepers. Oh, I hear you. Husks, obviously another kind of representation of the zombie model. But in their case, they don't burn up when daytime comes, so if there's a whole bunch of them. They also give you the nausea or hunger effect. Which, as I've said many times, I'm not real sure why that really matters, truth be told. Just one of those things that is. Well, creepers over that way. I mentioned at one point that, oh, I thought you were a zombie. Oh. Hey. Trying to get the critical hit on you, sir. Okay. Maybe snack. Kind of nice to be up on a low hill, something you're not going to necessarily get knocked off of, but maybe something that's got some too high area that they have to come around like this, where you can get your licks in before they even reach you. Now the challenge is we never really got established there. Ow! Stop it! But yeah, having something that's kind of elevated and not, only really accessed from a side keeps you safe without letting you get knocked off. If you're up on just like a cliff edge looking out, that's great. But if something does sneak up or get spawned next to you, it can leave you stuck or get you in trouble. So, well, if you don't know how to climb upstairs, sir, I don't know how to help you. The husks over here do definitely seem to have a larger kind of aggro range than the regular zombies. They'll come after you from a distance. We finally got some hunger. Now, what that does to me, I don't. Why I want to be particularly worried about it, not too sure. Well, still no phantoms. That's a bummer. But we'll go check in on the lodge once daylight fully comes up. Last kind of this dawn time is a great time to get the Enderman coming over. I know, I was a little slow for a game. Hey, their ability to teleport is a little frustrating at times, but nothing too bad. But again, the more spread out you get, and running kind of, having a number of kind of outcrops like this, kind of in a massive circuit. If you really want to farm the pearls to make Eyes of Ender, that's a great way to do it, because you'll load new chunks of Endermen and will have more opportunities to see them, therefore more opportunities for them to drop pearls, and the looting definitely helps in that regard. I really don't want to get knocked into this ravine, feather falling or not, on my boots. So as you guys can see, only through a night, but the difference is almost all of our gear is in tip-top shape now, and we have 11 more levels. So we're definitely moving along. Let's go back. Let's see if we can maybe swing by, see if any number of the available enchants we have can go on to something with 11. Then we'll swing through. Will we? Do we really need to see do we have anything that no. We'll go home. We'll see if the farm is ready to harvest anything. We'll see if we can put on a enchant, dump all this junk. Maybe do some trading, but get back to the desert by nighttime and do that one more time, hopefully with some phantoms showing up to let us gather their membranes. They just feel like it only tickles a little. Okay, first thing, dump the monster loots. I think those can all go in there. One random piece of sand. We'll try to remember to drop off on the way over. Alright, what do we got? Next up on our boots. Let's go unbreaking. Just in case they couldn't take everything for some reason. Boom. And again, using these levels as early as you can keeps your overall level number low when you're using the anvil, right? There's no reason to keep it high. And by using down to 0, 1, anything under 10 or any available enchantment, that's just the quicker you'll restore those levels. So definitely spend them if you've got them when it comes to that. All right, we're close on Oh, things are getting good. I know I keep saying it like maybe one more time. Let's 1, 2. That's not a good angle. Yeah, I mean there's still enough patches. We're really still not quite there. I'd like to get where just at a glance without counting closely, I'm under 10 things at least remaining. Ideally, fewer than one a row. And at that point, you really do want to stop because some of those can just be slow growing spots or whatever. I don't know. I don't know all the reasoning behind it, but definitely, definitely possible. So let's go do the rest of the sugar. Do we put that sand away? I don't think. There's no way that we're full. Like, why are we not getting sound? Maybe it was just the chickens overwhelming us here. Alright, swim. Pretty soon we'll just, water will be super quick for us because we'll have the depth strider as well. But in between it, and as you have lots of enchants added onto boots or a helmet or sword or whatever, if there's any question that you may run out of levels, put on what you want to have on long term most. And in our case, that's we want the durability of unbreaking on those boots. We don't constantly want to be recharging them. So that did pull. But now we have our sand, our sandstone, and our smooth sandstone and our sandstone. Did we take anything down to cook over the... We'd done some glass, I think. But we didn't even bother to check the last time we were in the basement here looking at bone meal. Did we cook anything recently? Maybe we should get just a shovel now that we're running around with none. Again, for this one at least, while we're still just empty buckets. But I think we maybe sit on that, and once we get some more coal going, and again, we're very close. It'll be a little tough to let go because there's always more stuff you want to stick on. Like we still haven't put the sweeping edge on our sword, which will allow us to hit multiple targets more effectively or hit them with more damage. So there's still lots of stuff that I'm gonna want, but getting our armor up was definitely necessary. So I'm glad to have that done. All right, well that's definitely already helped free up a little bit of space. We haven't used the axes at all. I think we can pull this over into the heirlooms box here. I don't think there's much cause for us to be carrying a shield anymore. We've kind of evolved. So let's try to swing over past our villagers in the afternoon. We'll harvest their sugar, do a quick paper trade, and then head back over to the desert for some, hopefully, a little more Enderman killing. Why is our sugar not done? Or is it just distant and I'm not seeing it? It's growing. It's growing as we watch, but it's only 2, I think. Not 2 or 3, just 2. Man. That's our neglect indicator. We have been neglecting everybody over here. So for anybody who hasn't seen yet, this is the lodge, man. It's the first time this episode we've been back over. Hey, everybody. I know, we spent so much time here, but I didn't want you guys to start feeling like we were always going to be here, because that's not true at all. What we are going to do is make as much paper as we can and then sell it. Not to that guy, because he's still not got a trade. But this guy, He's already down to 12 on efficiency 4 books. Um, yeah, again, it's very expensive to get everything applied on a pickaxe or something that you're just starting from scratch. But when when we get a little more comfort on our um, levels of experience again, build those back up. Once we've equipped everything and kind of, and I know I'm leaving odds and ends there. We could do a bit more, but it's okay. We'll be back. So yeah, we built our Silk Touch pickaxe at the end of the last episode from scratch, where we just used books, and by the end, the last piece that we put on, because we had to put on 2 efficiency 4 books to make it efficiency 5, Unbreaking 3, Silk Touch, and Mending. By the time we were putting on the last of those, it was an incredibly expensive pick to upgrade. They kind of escalate as they go. So we were left with a bit of challenge there. One thing I haven't really considered, I hope through my carelessness, I haven't really endangered our village friends over there. I guess we could work in reverse and repopulate it if we have by staying up through the night. But honestly, they're going to have to get used to dealing with it a little bit, because this very well, as I said, we may kind of use this natural bowl as kind of an arena we make for combat. Just as we're doing now, but in a more manufactured environment. In fact, let's just do a little more. One thing I want to do while we've still got daylight here and we're just waiting, let's get all these cacti out of the way. I think they look like creeper, again, obviously they don't move or anything, but when it's nighttime and you're just looking into the distance, it can be tough to keep them identified. So we'll just do a quick cacti clear. Get a little, I think that's laptop noise. Hope nothing is is just starting to spin up process-wise or something in the background. Like I said, I don't have an upload running, so we should be good from that. I did think that maybe, and I think I started to talk about this. I'd done, individually for last evening once I was done playing, I did run 2 more uploads, both of which were a couple hours. So the last one I just started before I went to bed, and it ran overnight. Those all went well. Those episodes should be up and available, ready for you. So all good there. But that also caused a. Well, what was the main thing I was trying to get to was that when I'd come around, I didn't restart everything. I'm not running anything. Don't have, even have a browser open where I'm loading things into YouTube at the moment. I'm just playing the game and running OBS, which is great. I'll just start things off with a few arrows. Again, our durability and our bow has hardly taken a nudge, but that's a phantom. There they are. So you guys remind me, did I take any of these out previously? Now, the biggest danger here is that there's something walking up on us as he kind of does his stupid little fly around. So we definitely want to get some of those membranes while we're doing it. Then we can, sleep again, and who cares? But for a moment at least, it's good to have some. I think we'll just deal with whatever comes our way tonight, because we're looking for the XP. So why sleep? Just get through it. And we'll have a few by the time we're done. That's great. Oh, there's a creeper. Why do I still have hunger? Where did that come from? Oh. Come on. Oh, man. Would you hit some of these guys? There you go. Go get him. Oops. That didn't work out quite as well as I hoped. Oh, hey. There's some XP, though. Woo! You stop it. Now, you are in very big trouble, sir. Not so tough without your ranged skeleton friends, are you? Bad place for him to stick himself. Too many skellies. Maybe we can clear some of them out. Oh, here he comes. Now, I don't... Part of the reason I really like them at dawn is they give everything else a pretty good opportunity to get up on you. And, I mean, again, we're partly doing this just to have fun now. I mean, it's a good way to spend our night getting a bit of XP, and it does become pretty manageable, and we actually want the Endermen. We don't want to totally dodge them, but you kind of do clear things, and then it'll reset with a new kind of cluster spawn. Oh, one more shot before he gets here. And still using now. What? How is that even possible? Is that a thing? Oh, this is not good now. What? I mean, seriously, you should be underwater, dude. Give me your trident. We don't have time to look, but, holy smokes. I've never seen a trident guy in the middle of a desert coming after me. Is that a thing? Yeah, look. Oh boy. Nope. This is why there's a lot of people that are not at all fans of the Phantom. Oh. They are more nuisance than... No trying, right? How did that even happen, though? Yeah, somebody feel free to drop in the comments. I mean, I may go look that one up. I may feel more urgency. My understanding has always been, and that's kind of a part of how I showed in the in this world, one of the early boat adventures, we kind of found ourselves in the midst of a pack of drowned, and part of my strategy of dealing with that when we were so under-equipped was to sit on like an ice shelf, get a little bit, and then regroup and come after him. I've never seen one just rolling around like that. He's got a sword, and don't discredit, otherwise that's just a bone, less concerning. Oh man. See, this is when you get a bit of a swarm going, and on its own that's fine, but when you're still trying to finish up the phantoms, it just makes everything a little more difficult. And then they got to do their slow little turnaround. Yeah, I heard your heavy footsteps. All right, who's next? Didn't we have a creeper somewhere over here that I was worried about? more fun. Maybe this is the moon. We're just getting more mobs and it's kind of building up. This has been more fun than some of the recent nights. I mean, certainly seeing new things when we've got trident-wielding drowned chasing us through the desert. That is a deal. Oh boy, a whole bunch of them. And of course, this is when they'll have all despawned by the time I get this guy out. There's one. Come on. Where'd you go? Just burped and it kind of tasted like Cheerios, which is really weird because I haven't had Cheerios in like 4 years. I don't think. It was a quiet burp. I didn't excuse myself. I wasn't trying to like belch to the rafters or the alphabet or anything, but I just felt like I'd share that with you. It's weird to get a taste that, is known. I didn't even have anything. Cheers are oats, right? That's the deal with the Cheerio. All right, you're next. Next up. Can we get you two? Yeah. Well done. Let's go. Oh, hey. Their teleportiness can be a little trolly. Well, that was a good night. Up to 14, and I say usually, I think in this world, we'll push for well over 20 when we do start heading out for the stronghold. Of course, we're limited at the moment because we want to get brewing done. We need you're risking all, and I don't know of a safe way to take the dragon without having any slow fall. He can throw you so high in the air, and I lost a world. It was in the Death Notes sheet that I showed early on when we were dying and I was making comments. With full feather falling 4 on my boots, in one of my worlds, my slow fall potion ran out, and he just happened to catch me with the dragon's throw you up in the air tactic, and I was looking down on the biggest, all of them. They all kind of looked just faint and vague from wherever he had tossed me to, and then just fell like a rock and couldn't get another potion in place and drank before I hit the ground and was done. So it was a sad time. But we got up to level 11. That should get us very close to our last. Well, maybe not. What did it cost us for the unbreaking? I can't remember. 7? So maybe. Fingers crossed. I'd love to get that depth stratter on and be done with those. Then we can, well, we had kind of talked like, yeah, let's use this episode to go diamonding for mines. No, mining for diamonds, because we'll want more picks. That'll very quickly become next up. Well, next up is still that sweeping edge, I think. Why are we not up the ladder? Hey, what's up, Guava? All right. Can we? Ooh, if we can't, let's do these. Can't hurt, right? And that. Now, boots. Don't accidentally put them on the thing. 21. That's the escalating. But again, that's going to finish them out. And, you're you're basically starting from nothing and just keep throwing things onto the boots. So we need another 10 levels, and of course those are going to be slower levels to earn than the ones we had previously. But not to worry, we should be that much closer to harvesting. We can certainly do our loads of. So we'll put our membrane in there. At some point, we'll switch out a chest of enchanting goods and kind of get those ready. We're game-wise, without episodes and all that, we're not that far from doing the Nether. And like I said, that may for me happen all in today's play session, but it still may well be a few episodes away. Now we did get some cacti, and we could make a trash bin. What was I doing here? As for instance, we already now have extras of, and all I'm trying to do on any of these is kind of build up sets that we can then, when we have a full set, or ones that we've used, like our old iron armor we hung on the armor stand upstairs. We can do the same thing once we get a full set of chainmail, and technically they don't have to be full health, right? It doesn't show any differently. By the way, this we don't need anymore. So let's grab that XP. Again, little bits here and there, but take them while you can. But we can keep combining until we're full. And this is just managing the garbage, right? It's, if it didn't pop into my inventory anyway, I'm not going to go out of my way to try to get it. But we end up with some of these things extra, and we don't need multiple pairs of pants or hats or anything like that. The cactus is a pretty good solution to that. The problem is just where it's out of the way and you're not running into it all the time. This is another good thing. We can kind of been waiting to get a fully juiced bow. That can go up, and we've actually got a good start towards another bow. This was our original bow actually, and it may was it. Did we start with that one? Yeah, I think we did, right? Because the other one had some power or something on it. But yeah, we've got that one we could add to, or we can just start from scratch. But in here we have a power 5 already. We have an infinity. Obviously, we can put an unbreaking on there. So along the way, if we pick up flame, whatever the other stuff is, what else do we have on here? That's just it, right? So yeah, we'll see. Let's see what all comes out. Rather than using an unbreaking book, maybe we start there, see if we can build up, and then just combine. Maybe double up some punch, because that's not one of the trades we have. So this is our book we're waiting on. Let's go store the cacti we have. Let's store the sand. Bummed we didn't get that trident, though. I'll tell you that. How great would it have been to get a trident from a desert trident, or drowned trident zombie? I would have taken that. Taking that all day. Oh, look, those beets are getting close. All right, let's give these guys, same old story. You guys have heard it before. Let's give these guys a chance to finish up whatever growing they're going to do as we do our axe crops here. And that efficiency 5 is real nice to just high speed. Back and forth, no replanting. And these alone they won't fully get us up there, but they'll give us a couple levels, maybe 3 or 4. And then with some of our other crops, we can hopefully finish out. quick way to some cash. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, they're close, but they're just not quite there yet. All it's running is building up quite an appetite, isn't it? Alright, so good here. What's up, S'mores? We still haven't gotten a name tag for you. Keep trying. Pick which way you want to turn. So a little bump here. I don't know. What? Maybe we do another night of combat. That's kind of fun, right? We haven't done as much fighting yet, and it is fun once you get once you get weapons and you're not just like getting overwhelmed. That last one was about perfect when you have some phantoms coming and a swarm of zombies at the same time. Then something random like a trident. Usually that's the part is played by a creeper that just shows up out of nowhere and gets you going. We really didn't see much because I said earlier that the desert's a decent place to end up with skeletons taking out the creepers and dropping albums for you, and definitely something I'd be down with. Now I think we got no chance of having sales, so we'll just kind of spread the love a little bit, I guess. Try to get as many... Oh, bedtime. Okay, I would have really, really liked to get rid of all of that stuff. But okay, this will be a bonus. We'll stash that away and have it ready. Let's go back, get in the boat, swing by the desert, let's fight a little more, and then tomorrow, I really, really mean it, we'll go harvest crops and add those to the pumpkins and melons we already have on hand. Let's trade goods. Night underwater, just the architecture, not the temples. We're still not ready for underwater temples yet, but just having the those underwater structures that have the treasure chests and all that. Diving down on those gets a little more appealing now with Depth Strider, Respiration, Aqua Affinity. We're well equipped to go exploring on those, but since we've done a lot earlier, I kind of would prefer to push on for Nether. We gotta make it's kind of like D-Day. We gotta make our beach landing, get ourselves established. All right, everybody sizzle. Oh, we don't have depth strike. That's what we're still waiting to put on. Good thing I didn't opt for the nighttime exploration. I mean, swimming, it doesn't make any difference. It just lets, when you're walking in, in the one deep water that's tougher to start swimming in, any of that stuff, it really speeds you up, makes it closer to just walking on dry land. So between that and the swimming, you can get around pretty good in the water. All right, that gave us a little starting point. Now here's the kind of trick, is that I don't know how to best soften up creepers to prepare them for the the skeletons to do the killing, right? That's we've gotten one. Maybe this is the guy. Oh, oh, come on. Now it's just kind of a... Come on, hit him. Ooh, almost fell in that hole. Why did the skeleton give up? Come on, man. Come on, one more. Shoot! Oh, this is not good. This is how the last one went so badly. Okay, come on. It's probably like the one thing everybody says never, ever. Oh, did they get him? Yeah, there's the disc. Oh, sorry, I didn't get it well on camera. At least I don't think I did. All right. That's a good treasure you find. We get far. Again, I don't know yet how we're going to manage the discs. Let's get him dealt with, though. With copyright and all that, I know, my impression had been that when the latest release came and Pig Step was included in the Nether as a disc, that one did have copyright. It was recorded for the game by a particular artist, and she was, I think it was a she. I don't even know that for certain, but that was my impression, just based on the name that I totally have no idea of. Stop! I'm curving. Well, for the purposes of it, the artist that we're going to call she, who recorded Pig Step, it was named, and none of Cat Far, any of those other albums, those aren't particular artist. Of course, I heard them right as I was looking at that Enderman. But hey, we gotta. Now, where are you guys? Just one? You should have brought friends, buddy. You're only as strong as your weakest link. And when your weakest link, when it's just you, that means you're the weakest link. They're also the strongest, but. Little guys have lots of XP. Alright, so we're at 18. We need 3 more levels, I think, to complete our boots. I don't know, what do you think? Should we try to play with another creeper? Definitely add some fun. I don't see a okay, maybe we can get this guy. Get one hit. Now keep coming. Grab this potato. Again, it's not like when you're just trying to find a potato for the sake of having a potato. It's, yeah, oh, okay, we got you. Somebody's shooting. Who's shooting? Shoot. Now these... What? Stop shooting. I mean, who's just so... Like, they're unrelenting when it's... Now there's too many, so I gotta just end that one. Don't let your fun with skeleton creepers get in the way of just farming the XP like we're here for. I thought I'd seen an Enderman over this way. And you guys, I mean, after such an awful display, it's really, really something regrettable. Just to witness, much less to be a... Oh, yeah. I do still... Since the very beginning, we've had that bubbling lava area, and I do worry, you know, in our little nighttime fun runs here that... oh! Stealthy spider. 2 stealthy spiders, or is that the same one? 2 stealthy spiders. Oh! Again, right as I'm about to, oh, and I didn't even mean to look at him. I was going to eat food. And then there you are looking at me. Alright, do your little turns. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Never did get my snack, but now it'll be breakfast. Hey, bunny. Sorry to disturb your sleep 4 nights in a row. Any more Endermen in the distance? Oh, put you down. What's that from? I'm gonna put you down. It's like some Western or action-y movie. Tough guy type characters. Now, when they're doing their little Bernie stuff, not Bernie, but just their burning. Whoa, wasn't the guy I expected to hit. Definitely worthwhile to try to pop them with an arrow, because you'll get the experience. And who knows if it'll be enough, but it should be well on the way to getting us. Oh, okay. Bunny, I thought you were going to kamikaze and block my arrow. This should certainly get us close to the 21. Just from cleaning up those kind of lingering. So, yeah, you know, don't not use your bow. I don't like to become too dependent on it, because it is something you have to replace, of the very few in number things that you have to replace. So, and you don't, it's never been real clear whether or if you get a lesser amount of looting when you're using a ranged weapon and you have looting equipped in your other hand, or, you know, if you have to have it in your offhand, or how that all works. It seems to be a topic of some debate. Okay, so already 18 ender pearls. We're doing great in that regard. We may even have some back in the treasure box, so we may already be over 20, and that's a pretty good start. You need to account, because a lot of them will break. You have to turn them into Eyes of Ender for locating the stronghold, but in the course of then traveling to it, you can break some. You can recover a lot. You throw them, and they kind of are like breadcrumbs. They'll lead you by which direction they fly towards the base, or the buried stronghold. Okay, well, again, 19, not bad for not having really tried. This goes down in our secret chest. That should come up. I didn't even know we had that. Totally forgotten, but that I'm so glad, because I hope we never bought that. We were tempted, but I kept saying, and not a big deal, we'll get it. Okay, so these are the 2 we want to put on. We're still a little short. Chickens could be the answer, without having to go trade and just get the boots done. Then the trades could be the sweeping edge. Wait, I was going to put all this stuff away. Come on. focus. I should check the time though as well. We're doing well, but I hope. Famous last words. Let's look. Awfully not well. All right. Once again, you can tell when the game's getting good, or just you're into a deep grind when lots of truthiness. I love some good truthiness. You can tell when the game content's getting good. Fighting out in the desert and all that. I lose track of time, so I apologize. These are running a little long, and that it all compounds, right? That makes it longer to upload for me and all that. I'd like to keep them on the other end of 2 hours, but this one's going to clock in at just over 2:15. So let me quickly say thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed the content. Please do drop a comment, let me know, or offer any responses to questions, ideas for content, thoughts on your own playstyle, whether you've seen trident wielding drowned in the middle of the desert at night. All those good things. Let me know. Otherwise, hit a like or a subscribe in YouTube. Spread the word to other folks that you may know. But most importantly, stick your head outside. Before you watch the next video, right now, just go ahead and hit pause and take a step outside. Night or day, there's always something cool to look at, and it'll do your body good, and your mind good, and your soul good. So enjoy, and take care of yourself and others. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.